I know what you're thinking. How can someone get to Platinum and land like this? Surely this is the kind of guy who'd lick his finger to turn a page on the iPad, but I can assure you, even though I might have used Google Maps to find my way to the kitchen this morning, not everything I do is a complete fail in Apex Legends. Trouble is, average players lack consistency, and consistency is the one thing I'd need if I were to ever hit Diamond again in this wretched game. Today is the tale of my doomed quest to rank up, and these were my final moments. Platinum 4, hot dropping into Climatizer, I was absolutely tilted from hiding for 10 games in a row only to get beamed with 7 squads left and negative RP. We landed right on top of another squad, and I fully expected to be the warm-up for my enemy's heater of a game, but then... It was as if I had Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility, but thanks to my idiotic game sense and the foolish ping that led to nowhere, the third member of that team escaped. I'd been playing a lot of Alter, and she's great for putting portals through walls. I only mention this because I didn't realize I wasn't even playing her until this happened.
Good job, don't play that game.
Thank you, teammate, whose voice will live on in my head for years to come. Gold shotgun bolt, you say? Nay, says I, for combat awaits. Okay, combat can wait for just a little bit.
I've reached max level.
Anyone seen a shotgun bolt anywhere?
Need a shotgun bolt.
14 squads left, 2 eliminations, and still minus 20 RP. I had a lot of work to do, and if you're looking for a job in World's Edge, may as well head to the Capital, or Fragment, or Monument. It's all the same. I'm just glad they changed the name, because what monster spells capital with an O? I mean, who does that? Anyway, I suspected enemies above, and went for a wee peekaboo! You know how they say in chess the pawns go first? Well, in Apex, it's the grenades that go first. Then the pawns. I snuck up the side to give them the surprise of their lives. It was safe to go back through, so I joined my allies. I said, I joined my allies! Oops. Well, they say you should be aiming for 10,000 steps a day, but my steps cost our squad dearly. Okay, that was awful, but at least Alter had no idea that their death was all my fault. Thank goodness for the foresight with the fallback, and Sarah delivered Alter back to the icy plains of World's Edge where anything could happen, including more indirect deaths by my hands. Foreshadowing! Anyway, a fresh dropship appeared on the map, and that meant one thing and one thing only: push the W key! Hello? Team? There's a portal here, and it appears to be temperamental today, so if you wouldn't mind, hurry up! Come on now, let's go! Apparently, we were not hurrying. Eventually, we headed deep into the Capitol, and I remembered my Mastiff's poor suffering soul and brought it halfway to gold. But with footsteps nearby, the shotgun would be called upon very soon indeed. At the doorway, I spotted them and trusted my instincts. Run away, I suck! Prepare to die, you fiends! Hey, that's illegal! Uh-oh. Well, that escalated quickly, but round 3 would be closing soon, and the last thing I wanted was to be running away from the gargantuan sizzling sunbed when in combat, so we did the only smart thing I'd done all game: repositioned. Knock, eh? Who cares about the ring? I had my portal, it was time for, say it with me guys, push the W key! This time, I'd snatch that downed foe through the portal and drag them home for dinner. Okay, that did not work. Idiot! I'd like to say this was not my fault, Alter, but that would be a big fat porky pie. Now, we were exactly where we didn't want to be, outside the ring, and Alter indeed died by my indirect hands once again. Saying that their death would not be in vain at this point is something that some other channel might pull off, but in the gutter tier, we're all about rolling the dice and not even looking at the result. Round 4, 5 squads left, gunfire all around us. Sarah had an idea that I really liked. Unsure if her plan involved a quick sizzle outside the ring, but she told me that she thought the ring may close around a certain bunch of rocks. There was a respawn beacon next to them as well, so we could bring back our teammates. Only 2 other squads remained, but if we played this just right, we could win. Stupid shotgun machine, open up! Operation Cliffhanger began and made us an optional backup portal, a portal that I hoped enemies might take. Instead, I got beamed. Look, staying up there is much harder than it looks, guys, alright? Aha! I needed to calm down, and when I did, I realised that I was almost out of shields. Then it was time for the final battle. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. It's slippy, I'm telling you. Oh, what's that? Oh yeah, I'm just chilling. I stood absolutely no chance against that Ash, flying across the map like a ballistic missile and then doing, I don't even know what it was, but tracking it wasn't going to happen in this timeline. Getting out of Platinum 4 was actually quite easy, as I decided to do the same thing and hope for a different result. Dropped into Climatizer, stood at the door like a complete donkey, got downed, got carried, found a longbow. Missed with the longbow, except when shooting Sarah in the back, of course. Rectified the mistake of a golden shotgun bolt by getting the golden mastiff with no ammo. Decided to take ammo off my enemy's death boxes. Anyway, more missing, and then we found ourselves watching ill-equipped fools that were running from the ring. But perhaps I should have watched from the safety of the next zone. You pillock! Which brings us to where this game really began, right at the end. But this time, I was Alter, and we knew that there was a team huddled up in that building nearby. With only 4 squads left and not a single elimination to my name, I went in with a bold plan that had no chance of failing whatsoever. But just in case. And the plan, you may ask? Wow, that was lucky. Curse you, Caustic, and your post-death flatulence! In the midst of all that chaos, somehow the enemy Ash survived, but this ring would close in the most open of places. That must have been the Ash from before. Well, now it was just us and them, and the enemy team were already one down. I moved in for the kill. I moved away from the kill. That enemy Alter must have been revived, and how do I know that? Because of this. Now all I had to do was claim glory with the longbow. Good job, Sarah, so long as they're dead, because if we waited for me to hit my shots, we'd be swallowed by the final ring. 3 games from now! So far, so good, right? Unfortunately, Plat 3 was like entering a different world. Either that, or I just started playing worse than usual because these games were hard. Teammates took us to Skyhook and I chose Wraith deliberately for once. Okay, no I didn't. I was browsing skins for her and I forgot to change back. Teammates' Wi-Fi seemed to have regressed to a dial-up modem, so we split off to avoid the jank. For the first time in a long time, I found myself completing the trials of the dogs and was having a good time with the P2020. but our teammate wasn't exactly happy with the final result.
And we really got no f***ing gold help. We got bad, so unlucky.
Unlucky indeed. Not that I'd know, as I never even go there. But speaking of bad luck,
Getting shot at.
this was looking grim, so I hatched our escape plan. But it was too late.
This runaway Wraith. District. Crap.
As I approached the replicator, I realized I'd been scanned and it wouldn't be long before enemies were on top of me. I could run or stick it here while I had just enough time. Oh boy. That'd keep them busy, but this time, my squad would be reunited. These enemies would expect me to run, but what if I didn't? What if I was simply bringing them to a battleground of my choosing? Welcome to another stupid day in the life of me, because my name's Ragtag, the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this, I don't know, planet, this solar system, the galaxy, the universe, the entire corporeal dimension and our metaphysical plane. That is, if it's tangible and you can grasp at it, I'll fail at it, that's all I know. But you know what? Somehow I convinced myself that I could bring more to the table as Wraith, but one of my finer talents has always been delusion of the self. Anyway, who cares, because we landed in Estates, the place where common sense goes to die. Oh look, a level 3 bolt. Yeah, I didn't see it. Ah yes, the Sentinel, the sniper rifle of stormtroopers everywhere.
Knock one. Can I have help or?
Huh, you mean 16 damage wasn't enough? Okay, fine. Working on it, bro. Knock one. Good job.
They were terrible. Oh.
I'll get him.
Placing a portal.
Was that your box? I am so sorry, dude. Ah, turns out he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to Bloodhound, who had hoovered up all of Sparrow's loot. So after I made him a portal to save some time, it's no surprise he didn't even bother to take it. We made it out of Estates intact. But as we tried to get a foothold on buildings nearby, another squad heard our clumsy looting noises and pushed with ruthless aggression. Not again.
The battle race. Open.
Up you get. Down you go.
Okay.
There could be no more revives because now this was about pure survival.
I've been down.
Are you good?
I think so.
Ah, they're pushing. Firefly. I'm dead. Just leave, bro.
There were teams everywhere, gunfire on all sides, and now saving the squad's RP was dumped upon my shoulders. There was only one thing left to do. Some people might not be very proud of winning games like this, but to me, Apex Legends is not about the pride, it's about the hide and saving it! The only plan now that made sense was to stay at the edge of the ring that everyone else was running away from, then get rid of the Sentinel, it's trash! Finally, I could bring them back. Okay then, I guess we just have to burn. With Sparrow having an aversion to staying outside his death box, this was the safest I could make our team from the rest of those killers in this lobby. We were whole again, but skulking around the edge of the zone in round 3 was less than ideal, especially when there were vultures looking for an easy kill, and they don't come much easier than me unless I have a longbow. Didn't matter now, both our teams had to move. I have portal.
Hey,
My squad had to decide whether or not to trust in my portal.
wait, what?
Bloodhound did, Sparrow did not.
And I is good button.
Well, that sucked, and the revive was off the table, but I hadn't given up on him just yet. Ragtag to the rescue!
Replicator coming down.
Gotcha! Wait, no I don't. Gotcha!
It's banner.
Now we needed somewhere smart for the end game, because every squad left in this match were hungry for the best position. It was time for me to lead us to victory.
Oh,
Cracked.
We're close to
We can push.
frag out.
not one.
Damn, sorry man. Perhaps it was time for Bloodhound to lead us to victory.
Let's go this way.
This was it, our last stand. There would be no resurrection, but if anyone tried to take this building, we would make them pay dearly.
Shield battery here.
Pushing.
Close.
Inside.
I need to heal.
I had an idea to block off the exit, which would have worked if someone didn't open that door. This time, the portal trick worked! Except I was now on the wrong side of the building. Yippee! Oh, hey teammate. Yeah, I don't recommend coming near me right now, as death and violence are hot on my trail. With there being nowhere safe left in this cursed place, I chose violence. Finish him! Finish him! Finish him! Finish him! Finish him! Shield swap. Good. Tactical void. Go!
GG.
GG. Was my personal greed really worth some inconsequential extra RP? Yes, it was. And now we return full circle to this masterpiece of a landing. So what happened, you might ask? I wish I knew, but my teammates brought me back without too much judgment, and we skillfully avoided everyone else on the map until there were only 4 squads left. Round 5 closing, I couldn't believe I was in with a chance of winning a game that started with me dropping to my doom. However, guys, I warn you now, I had totally forgotten how to play Alter, and this fallback is going to be the last you'll see of any ability, so brace yourself. Triple take, eh? Don't mind if I do. Who needs a scope anyway? Me. I do. The last squad was trying to pull off a revive, and somehow... yeah, they did it! This game was turning against us. Barrow decided that cover was for cowards and me. But if you think I'd let 3 uploads in a row happen where I lose the last fight, you've got another thing coming. And that thing is mismanaged expectations, because I will absolutely upload a losing game if it means my rank is going in the right direction, and unbelievably, I found myself sneaking into Platinum 1 on the next episode, but the real question is, do I have what it takes to make Diamond? We'll find out when I catch you on the next one. Later.
You piece of noob.